could definitely help things out over on the side of TeamOne. And overall, Overpass is kind of this roster, this core EG's bread and butter. It is their home map. So we'll see if they are going to be able to do the job, as we're going to hop into the game here very quickly, as it's finally time to see who's going to make it here on map 1 between EG and TeamOne.
Yeah, I think last time, of course, as we mentioned, EG played. They were in Europe playing against very tough competition, and it didn't go as well as they would hope. But now they're back in North America, playing against familiar opponents in either, well, TeamOne to start, but it could be ATK next, or of course, Gaming Gladiators. So we'll see how they fare. It's an important match. I'd say even qualifier for Evil Geniuses, because I feel like they should be able to take care of all the competition they're up against.
Yeah, I agree. I think EG have to be the heavy favorites, maybe a little bit of ATK as well, with Bowden and Swisher really popping off lately. But TRK is going to pop the first kill. Viz does answer attack nicely. Jonji and Connector playing a bit of a dangerous spot against the Glocks is going to fall down. DJ with one more return to make it a 3v3. But the A side's pretty undefended, and the bomb can go down. Pace is going to shut down the cat push, though. Two great headshots, leaving it all down to DJ, who's very good on the pistols. Has to really show up now. Peeked out once by IDK. Barton for the second swing, and the combo between the two will finish him off. 1-0 to start things off for TeamOne. Winning the bomb plant is kind of the victory in and of itself, but that hold from Pesa basically secures the round in and of itself.
Yeah, Pace has been a strong performer here for TeamOne over the last 3 months, and you look at his ECL stats in Season 40, led the squad with 364 frags, behind TRK by 2 frags, and with a plus 20 kill to death differential, and had a team-leading ADR of 86.3. He was also one of the keys in relegation. He really stepped up to the plate in a big way. You talk about that Northern Forces matchup, that was, of course, that was Pesa at the top with 83 frags, and then against Axolotl, same thing at the top, this time with 40, and his ADR was solid as well, 102.4 against Northern Forces and 99.4 against Axolotl, so he's definitely one to watch here.
He's always good. When he's on fire, he is on point, as evidenced by that cat play. So if this is the pace that we're going to get today, it's a good sign for TeamOne, especially on map number 1. Now, bit of a brief technical pause, as we're going to get into this one very, very quickly.
Yep.
And we're back into it. Also, for some reason, it's saying we're playing on Nuke, so I'm going to need to fix that.
This is John G. Is going to get that headshot onto IDK. Barton finds the immediate trade. There's the 4v4. EG did decide to force up into this round. It's good to see John G get going here, as when he finds those opening kills, his team typically does find some success. He's got 90 over the last 2 months with a 68.9% win percentage when he finds the opener. He's also their main guy to go for entries at 31% attempts. Obviously on the CT side now, but still it is important for him to find that early rhythm, as he does take a more aggressive stance even on CT side. Ben, gonna be moving in here. He's got a pretty good chance at getting Pesa. Yeah, Pesa had no idea. Ben is snuck into T-spawn, and he picks up the AK. It doesn't yield much more, though.
Hey, it's still a kill. It's economic damage, and it brings it to a 3v3, which is definitely winnable. If he does have armor, though, there's a good chance he's able to get at least one of those players, as he doesn't get aim punched. He can hit the headshot a lot less pressure. Viz very aggressed up through kitchen as well, keeping an eye on the cross. If he lands one headshot, there's still going to be DJ on the site proper, but if Viz can get both, this would be huge. He doesn't get either, though. It's just above the shoulder. Close, but no cigar. All left onto DJ now as the long rotation to Pwn alone. Scout is going to take too long. The Scout's not exactly the gun you want for a B-site retake on any map, let alone Mirage. DJ, though, has not been discovered. The flash doesn't do much, and time is getting very low. This could stop the plant, but here comes the trade. Podolone has to hold, but Barton incoming with the impact. That's some big, big kills there from Barton. If he doesn't get that, the time was too low. That could have very easily been an EG win.
Yeah, at least EG keeping things in question, right? They got the frags that came through. A little more damage would have been nice. In fact, a lot more damage on those 2 players coming through the apartments. DJ just slightly off. I believe it was him in those apps, trying to connect on the headshot, right? And just could not do it. If he gets that, I think that really does open the door to EG picking up that round. But not going to be the case. They're going to just try and stack 4 players here into window room, go for a boost, sending 3 into ladder. So hopefully that pans out for them. The thing is, well, I don't know if TeamOne's going to be heading this direction.
it looks like they're probing, and this is the right thing to do in the situation. They don't need to push into the pistols, run into a stack. That's what they're wary of, and that's what they're trying to avoid. Just getting the information first and foremost, not letting the pistols do what they do best and just get mob kills. So for TeamOne right now, it's a very good counter to what they know is going to be a pretty much full eco USP round from EG. A couple of upgrades here and there, Deagle and a P250, but they're doing the right thing. I did like the idea, though, from EG to boost 3 players into ladder. That's not something you're going to see every day, and if they run up Cat, which isn't a bad call against this kind of a round, it could definitely get a couple of kills, maybe a gun and turn the tide, but overall, TeamOne countered perfectly. Molotov set piece in towards B, throwing all the pieces of utility. Well set here by TeamOne, even getting the market smoke down, and they're not letting anything slip through their fingers.
Yeah, this should already be over here, as EG potentially going to send a player to be boosted over this smoke and try and get a deagle shot. There it is. Ah, Jonji fell off the head now, and here comes the push, and it's over. IDK gets 2 for 1 there with the MAC 10, $1,200 added to his bank account, and, well, EG don't really have much left to go for into this round. Barton is going to chase a little bit. He wants those frags and wants that kill bonus. At the end of the day, this is going to be 3-0 for TeamOne, though.
And that's kind of what we were expecting out of this round, right? 3-0 start for TeamOne. Nothing they really had to worry about. So, it's a good start for TeamOne, and for EG, definitely some signs of rust, not exactly being as crisp as they probably would have liked. And it is the CT side of Mirage, too, so you want to see them getting some rounds on the board. We'll see if they're going to be able to recover here, or if TeamOne's going to be able to get up to a big lead. Because if they do, that's where things really start to get messy. That's where things really start to turn around for EG's chances, and TeamOne can run away with the map.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, EG, like you alluded to before we got started here, Mirage isn't necessarily a sure thing for them. It's been very back and forth in the past year. If you look at their stats over the last 3 months, they got 4 wins, 2 losses, plus 16 kill to, round differential, excuse me. But their last match here against Gaming Gladiators was very, very tightly contested. Only a 16-14 win there. So we'll have to see if they can pull out all the stops here against a TeamOne roster that continues to look better, right? Because they're trying to find that fifth, and that's where the question mark might exist. But Barton's a solid player that can come through here for them after being left behind once 0-0 Nation acquired the roster of Godson, or most of the players anyway.
Yeah, and he kind of got the short end of the stick there, didn't he? Because
he did. He did. No, he was a very strong performer. It was a question mark even for me, but it just felt like they wanted room for Cold Zera and Try on that 0-0 Nation roster, and there were 2 players that had to bite the bullet, and Barton was one of them.
Yeah, that's just a bit unlucky for Barton, but he gets a chance to prove himself again on TeamOne. That's some good damage, though, from Jonji. Ponalone pops up on top of Ticket Booth and takes down TRK. EG starting to post a good, strong defense, but around the smoke, I don't know how Pesadello saw Ben, but Ponalone swinging around aggressive, playing like he does, taking those fights, getting those kills. Nice swing from Jonji through the smoke as well. Smoke Criminal striking, and now it's all down to IDK on a MAC 10. 1 more kill. Actually, if it makes us 2, that could have been a lot more expensive and a lot more dangerous, but only 2 casualties, not too bad for EG. And a very strong gun round, thanks in large part to Ponalone.
Yeah, and I mean, look, and Jonji too, right? Jonji's such a big piece. He's got the highest impact rating over the last 2 months on the squad at 1.20, and that's because of those clutches, those multi-kill rounds, and the opening kills that he's always finding. He's such an important piece, and you might not always see it in his kill-to-death differential or his KDR, but definitely look at his damage stats, look at the clutches that he pulls off, and you'll understand why he's such an important piece for this roster. There's a big nade that comes through. TRK goes down to 62, and Maluk at 80. They're still committed to potentially a run boost that'll come through here, but Jonji is ready and waiting on the other side. And you talked about Pone as well. Yeah, I mean, he's incredible. Such a good hopper, you know, and hopefully he'll be able to punch through at the higher level of competition when they go back to Europe and really shine.
Yeah, but they have to qualify for tournaments like this.
They
have to
do,
make it through the
yes.
qualifier.
You're right. Oh.
That's a nice start there by Ponalone. Maluk, though, trades one back with the op. So far as the op's getting the kills, Barton loses out a duel to Ben, and that is a big loss for Barton. That's a lot of control and information for EG now to take, but TeamOne are taking the mid-control off of that pick onto Jonji and Window. DJ's ready for the cross. He's ready for the play coming through the rat hole. But things have kind of stalled out for Team One now. They're in a bit of a pickle. They're down a man. They're stuck in mid with no sight control, no flanks, and Pace is about to get timinged.
Oh.
Ben will take a second name, and that's some good fragging from the EG.IGL. That's what you want to see if you're EG2. See Ben taking some good fights and winning those duels against the likes of Pesa and Barton.
Yeah, I'd say at this level of competition, definitely want to see Ben get more involved. Not typically a player that they're going to rely on for frags, but when he has the opportunity, he can certainly shine. TRK and Maluk do have the space gained to the B site, so EG left a gap, and TeamOne have exploited it. The thing is, DJ's waiting here. He's trying to deny the plant. Viz is also here. I don't think there's anything possible from Team1, and indeed, there will not be. Viz and DJ take care of business, and after losing the opening 3, EG have a win streak, 2 in a row.
2 in a row for EG, and Pistols out for Team1. Let's see if they go for any bit of upgrades. Maluk probably will not spend much at all to get that op back in hand, as that's his 1 kill so far. Nobody else in the range of even being able to buy an upgraded pistol like a P250, so Team1 glocking it out. Full Glock round here on round number 6. EG should be able to tie things up now, and this is the recovery we wanted to see from them. We wanted to see strong, confident round victories with the guns in hand. And that's what we're getting. Podolon has to be careful not to get overwhelmed by a Glock. But he does have some support. He has John June window, DJ on Cat, and probably the opening. Whoever peeks first should be dying to this push out towards top middle. Podolon's not going to eat that jiggle peek bait. He's not going to get hooked on that.
No.
He'll just take you on the full swing, or just do that to you. Nice shot. Jonji's got his back, and EG looking to mop this one up clean.
Yeah, I mean, just it doesn't matter if you're jiggle peeking or not sometimes against Pone, as he takes care of business, and so does the rest of EG. Easy clean for them against Team1's pistol round, and now we are tied up at 3 apiece. Now, for those of you just tuning in and wondering, well, what's going on here? Well, this is the ESL Challenger Melbourne closed qualifier, and this is match number 1 of 2 on the day. So we have this one coming up first. There's another match happening right now. That's ATK versus Gaming Gladiators. The winner, of both those matches will be playing in the upper final, which will be our second match broadcasted today.
That'll be a good one too. Whichever team wins this, whichever team wins the other. That's a banger. Either Gaming Gladiators or ATK, either one versus the winner of this is going to be a very solid matchup. And that's one thing. There might be some slight favorites. Like I say, EG has to be a favorite here to qualify. But any team could realistically win it.
Yeah, I think they're all on relatively even footing. You're right. I think EG has the slight edge over everyone else, but I mean, it wouldn't really be considered an upset if any of these teams, Team1, ATK, or of course Gaming Gladiators took it, because they've had their moments. They've shown, especially as of recently, if you're thinking about ATK making it to the grand finals against Payne in Challenger League Season 41, and also Gaming Gladiators were in that lower bracket final.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of good talent in this qualifier, so it's good to see the NA teams showing up and force Podolon. An uncharacteristic miss, but DJ, I don't know what TRK is looking at there. Has to know DJ's right in the ladder room corner. Ends up getting a hat trick, and Podolon will not miss the second time. DJ with the quad, and EG with a flawless anti-gun round. 4 straight, and they're really starting to turn up. And Team1 might be time for a timeout because their last couple of rounds have really gone astray, and there's been a bit of miscommunication issues. Like that one right there, DJ getting a literal free second kill.
I'm very surprised he had the opportunity at 2 free headshots there and did not miss a beat to his credit. And afterwards, it was pretty much all EG, right? Because it was supposed to be a pincer attack onto the B site. But once that attack from Cat is completely neutered, there's nothing left. And you're walking into a slaughter if you're Team1 onto the B site. And Pone is not going to miss his second opportunity at getting the frag. Well, now Team1 are relegated back to pistols. It's going to be 2 Tech 9s, 2 P250s in the Deagle. And they were thinking about potentially going for a quick push out of Palace, but appear to have shied away from it and are now retreating in towards CT. It will be a half buy for them, though, Austin. 4 players with body armor, Maluk not having it. The thing is, they don't have that head armor protection against these A1Ss, although there is only one A1S, 3 of them are AKs. Maybe they factored that in.
Also, I mean, Pace is already buying down a significant amount, down to 1350. Same with IDK at 1450. There's a lot of investment They can't really go for the helmet out on top of all that, and even now, if they don't
Oh,
get
yeah,
the bomb
no.
down, it's still going to be a bit of a rough buy in terms of utility. I like the utility play in towards B, though, right now. Counters being thrown. Lots of damage from the nades and the spray. DJ looking to add to his tally. Viz around, spots the cross towards bench, rotates back. Ben's coming through. Nobody's on site just yet. The bomb has not been able to get anywhere close to being planted, and Pace is the last man standing. 1v5, none v5. Back-to-back flawlesses for EG, and look at that money! 11K, 10K, 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 8K down to 7,300. EG are rich, and here comes the timeout that needed to be called by TeamOne.
Yeah, honestly, I was about to mention that money. It's just flowing for EG. 2 rounds in a row, not losing a single player on CT side is just fantastic. Really does help you get that economic footing. Not to mention, since the pistol round and the follow-ups after that, TeamOne got, EG have been very solid. 5 in a row on their side, looking to make it 6 here, as TeamOne are going to use their first of potentially all 4 timeouts coming through here to talk things over and say, look, what do we do here? How are we getting dismantled so easily? Obviously, some of those were up against just pistols. That one, a little bit more of an investment on the half buy. Didn't yield anything, but they could afford to invest a little bit more because the full loss bonus will kick in as of now.
Yeah, they got the money to buy up again. A little light on utility, particularly on Pesa, but everybody else has all the compliments that they would need. Lots of coming in from TeamOne, and EG actually swapping up their play. Jonji going very aggressive, hyper-aggressive through Palace. Ponalone hyper-aggressive through Apartments, and Barton has gone by him. The Molotov will kind of make the noise, the sound cue happen. They have to know he's there. The spray's coming in. Viz knows somebody's in kitchen. Ponalone tossing in further utility, and still keeping an eye. Barton burning into the peak, and Pone's not able to hit that shot, trying to get out of dodge. He will have to fight his way through, and he does knock down the first pin. Maluk with the bomb behind that smoke will cross forward, but Ponalone has decided he wants nothing more to do with that. Gets hit with the molly, and actually gets hit by IDK of Catwalk, as Maluk helped out with the Molotov coming up from Apartments. Viz stuck on site, has DJ coming in as well as Ben for rotations, but TeamOne have pumped the brakes here. They're holding off, and they're waiting to see if they can catch anybody else in rotation like the Rabble. Oh, Jonji, but he takes too long! Maluk spins around, hits the headshot, and that could torpedo everything EG had, unless Ben can hold off the cross, but they're starting to rotate back towards A. It's a perfect read, and they got a cross. Pace has got the angle. TeamOne in full control.
Oh my goodness, Jonji, I can't believe he misses that opportunity. He had all the time in the world, and then he whiffs on the shots and then gets flicked on by Maluk. Ben Lee does get the headshot onto IDK, follows up on GRK and gets a third onto Maluk. The IGL popping off again, leaving Pace on an island, and DJ will take care of business. 6th round picked up by EG, and again, it is Ben Leet coming to save the day.
Ben showing up in big moments here for EG, and they will use a tack pause. Taking time to, I think, give Ben a moment to breathe, because he's got a call, he's got IGL, he's also, right now, putting up the kills, saving the day. His angle was the critical one, and he does step up when he needed to. That's a great play from Ben, and a great sign for EG. All players basically within 2 kills of each other. And Viz, the B anchor, still positive by 2. That's a great sign for EG. And for TeamOne, you did everything right and then some. You just got stopped by 1 man.
That's unreal. Yeah, they had the right read, the rotation, everything, but Ben Lee was just too strong, like you said. And also, another interesting point, you talked about the disparity being only 2 frags between 1st and 4th here for EG in terms of the scoreboard. Typically the case, they have a very strong core of Pone, Viz, and DJ. Over the last 2 months, they're only 6 frags apart. In fact, only 2 separate Pone from Viz, so they all can pop off individually, which is great to see here for EG, as DJ is going to take down Maluk. Benley drops IDK. It looks like Pesa could have won. No! Jonji turns on him! It's his opportunity now to get that wicked flick. Then DJ and Viz get the last 2. That was, oof, that was tough for Pesa.
I think he didn't have a helmet.
Yeah, I would assume so, but I thought I heard the ding, to be honest with you. Either way, it's still a ridiculous frag to come through for Jonji.
That was insane. Had the sidearm out, got caught with his pants down, and he still won the fight. It's kind of a revenge for what happened to him.
Yes,
in a
exactly.
A couple of rounds ago. Or was it, I think it was the round prior, actually. So
It
he'll
was,
take
yes.
the revenge. It's a dish best served cold, or in this case, with a USP. He'll take that. And again, he's all the way through Palace. All the information, TeamOne's giving it all up towards A. They're defaulting heavy B mid every single round.
Look, Jonji loves to do this, right? If you're going to give him the space, he is going to take it every single opportunity that he gets. And now he could cause a lot of trouble for them if he goes in on the flank. But the thing is, he decides to go towards A ramp. But still information gained, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of information gained, and he's just going to go on the flank again. There's no reason he doesn't. Viz is getting a free kill. IDK running through with the bomb.
That's bomb.
That's a bit of an issue. Barton trying to get a refrag actually will get stopped by DJ. The team cohesion right now out of EG. Everyone's holding an angle. That's a good double from Maluk, though. That turns the tide. Look at Pesa. He's in from behind. He's all the way in through market, and he's about to punch some tags. Ben doesn't spot him. Viz has been spotted as well. Maluk might be low on health, but he's hitting the shots. Ponalone's up into the scope of Maluk, but 1-1 for Ponalone. Around the arch, tosses the nade, his position already known, does a little bit of chip, but he spots out Pesa, takes a little bit of damage, just about equivalent on both sides. But who's going to win this law of equivalent exchange? Pesa trying to get that plant down, low on time, has to stick, and Ponalone will wait for him to punch those digits and let that timer tick. Has the kit, has the op. Has a general idea of where Pesa can be. It's all going to come down to a matter of timing if he's watching the right angle at the right time. Just misses the shot. He spots him out. But this is where Pesa can really win the round if he makes the right move. Pone swap to the AK. Pesa trying to jump up on logs. Walking into Ponalone's angle. Has the shot. I don't think Ponalone was ready for that one. That was a good repositioning from Pesa. Bit of a gamble, but sometimes you got to take it.
Maluk pulled that round back into the hands of TeamOne in that round. Honestly, it belonged to EG, but they just couldn't deal with the opper there in the apartments. And afterwards, Pesa managed to sneak through into market, and once he gets that frag, it's just surprising to me that no one really spotted him out. And that's the risk you take, right? When you have the aggressive play from Jonji, there will be holes that can be exploited, and TeamOne managed to find one there, and it led them to victory. So nade's gonna fly through here and connect onto TRK at top mid. And at least TeamOne have cut the lead down to 3 and finally end the round run for EG at 7, but they are far from in the clear.
Yeah, that was a huge string of rounds for EG. TeamOne still in a really rough situation economically. Galil's on 3, AK's on 2. Utilities empty on TRK and IDK. Just a smoke from Maluk. And not the op that served him so well in the round prior. So things are pretty rough for TeamOne despite having finally broken the streak. EG still have plenty of cash to 2 players at 10K. So I think they're happy.
Yeah.
They could lose that round. Tactical reset from back in 2014, 2015. In all seriousness, though, Pone's on A. They haven't really tested A at all in terms of a default take like they're going to do now, so maybe they can catch EG sleeping a little bit.
Perhaps. Ben's going to get taken out, and there's Jonji down as well. You could be right. It looks like they were caught off guard here. Pace has managed to go into connector, but he almost gets caught from Viz. Manages to flick and take him down. Then DJ responds with one and Pone another. Seems like the man advantages aren't really meaning much for either team, and Pone gets the call at Barton and Maluk are gone. IDK is the last one standing. This was a 5v2 in favor of TeamOne. Now Pone whiffs on the shot. DJ goes down, but Pone repeaks it to find it. Austin, what an insane round, but it's Oppers coming out to the rescue for both sides. Previously Maluk, this time it's Pone alone with the 4K.
Oh, and he almost lost that one too.
Yeah.
It's the fantastic shot. Misses the next, gets taken down to 6 HP, watches his teammate die, and then finishes it off in the end.
I think it might have been a 5v2 in favor of PA in that previous round too. It's ridiculous how these advantages are, maybe, but either way, just ridiculous, right? Multi-man advantages disappearing for both sides.
Not the first time either. TeamOne's lost multiple, at least 2-man advantage situations.
Right.
And it's a big reason why they're stuck at 4 rounds right now, and why EG were able to put 7 in a row on the board.
I think it's more problematic for TeamOne to lose a situation like that, given the score, than it was for EG.
Oh, yeah. And economically, too. I mean, look what they have now. It's a half buy with an AK, Tech 9s, a P250, and a Deagle. And down goes one. John G just tapping away. No, never mind. He's going to get taken down by Barton. I thought he had the second kill. The flashbang came in clutch. If the bomb plan comes through for TeamOne, they can make a round out of it, holding the line, but they're going to jump across the smoke, giving the kill over to Ben, who does get traded, but Pone's coming through. Viz is here. The bomb's knocked down. And wait, hold up. What? What? How are teams winning these rounds where they're down 2-3 guys, turning it around out of nowhere, out of nothing?
I'm at a bit of a loss for words, to be quite honest, but those are some really wicked shots coming through from Barton. The thing is, I don't understand either the challenges that were coming through on the PA side, on the EG side. I thought John G didn't have to go for that push into the A site. He could have just hung around towards Ticket. Instead, he pushes it out and then gets flashed and taken down by the player at Sandwich. I understand the idea of trying to regain the space, but you're better off at that point just waiting for your teammates and reinforcements to come through. Thing is, that was, I think, a 3v2, and then Barton just comes through and gets a couple, and after that, it was done. Strange rounds, to say the least. It doesn't seem easy right now to determine where the flow of play will take us.
Yeah, it's been bizarre. It's almost Twilight Zone the way some of these rounds have played out. But yeah, it's definitely been entertaining, that's for sure. Also, secondary op's been pulled out for Evil Geniuses. They've got the op on Ben. And Maluk going for the cross shot, doesn't hit it. Ben's out towards Khan, getting flamed forward. He's burning down. The smoke takes a little bit of time, and Jonty takes a little bit of damage too. But another default from TeamOne, this time a 1-3-1. Again, centering on middle. But EG have really read this well. They put a lot of pressure in towards mid, one for both Ben and Jonji. And TeamOne battling down 2 men. You can't count anybody out of these situations anymore, though, from what we've seen.
No.
It's almost like, all right, so TeamOne win the round now. They went down.
they lost the first player, then that's the victory condition. No, but 3 players left here for TeamOne. IDK's thinking about coming out of Palace here, and Viz will be there to greet him. There is some presence from Maluk as well. Ben and Jonji are going to take some damage here. I'm not sure if that was utility or not, but either way, Maluk tries to come through. IDK at the same time. There's Viz taken down. An opening here, potentially. Jonji flicking back and forth, trying to spot out a target. And he doesn't see anyone just yet. Good flashbang throw. Barton's kind of isolated, but there's no peek there. Now it's there. Jonji finds him. That's the bomb and probably the round. Maluk in a 1v4, and he's just going to hightail it the heck out of Dodge. He wants to try and at least get a frag before he retreats. And yeah, Jonji's going to go back and forth trying to bait out the shot, and he's doing a pretty good job of that. But this one should be over.
Oh.
Okay.
That was a bit unnecessary, but, you know, take the op out of the hands. It really forces TeamOne to be on another weird half buy. A couple of AKs, a couple of pistols, a little bit of utility here and there. But this is the chance for EG now to get a 10-5 half on their opponent's map pick. Map number 1 of this one. Trying to go into the upper bracket final and give themselves their first spot. The first spot out of 2 in the final to take that 1 spot in Melbourne here out of NA. But EG definitely showing up well after losing the pistol round. They have had a couple of blunders here and there, but overall, they've had the better of the play. And TeamOne have not really been able to answer. So, this one, they're going to go all in. And go very heavy towards A in the initial, and then fall off.
Yeah. I mean, it's the second time they've done that, but kind of strange because there hasn't really been a dedication of utility or a fake in play. They just go heavily towards the A site and then decide to switch it up.
But they're going in towards mid instead. They're just not even like going towards B. They're going for 3 players out of middle, then going into their 1-3-1 default with that secondary player going in through apartments into underpass. So it feels like they're gearing up for a late mid split on towards A. but Jonji's going to shut down the first piece of the puzzle, and now he's aware of the fact that somebody's probably going to come through Palace. They've seen this before. They know what this kind of a playstyle looks like, and they're ready for everything TeamOne have to throw at him. They've spotted the secondary player in towards Connector. Jonji is taken out, but IDK actually able to double down from Connector, making this one a 3v3. Only one player
nade.
on the A side. That's Ben, and he's got one with a nade. Has the op, not taking the shots, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. He is going to be boiled and finished off by the AK of Barton. But the bomb is down in middle, and time is not on his side. His health also fleeting as Punalone hits him in the leg. 10 seconds. There's no way he's able to get the bomb, get back to site, and plant. It's 10-5 if they don't peek. If they don't peek. Run, Josh, run.
Please run. Okay. There we go. 10-5 here in favor of EG. That was a very rocky first half of action, though, Austin, honestly.
Yeah, that was a bit rocky. That was pretty crazy. But we're going to hit that break here at the halftime and be back with half number 2 in just a moment.
'Cause it gets me in the mood. You're still a flame free in my head. You got me so confused. My mind is full of you. Still want you in my room. Don't wanna get rid of you. On my mind, but now I'm not too late. You got me so confused. My head is full of you. You keep slipping away. I learned the hard way. But something's gotta stay. Don't let it go to waste. Do you remember all of the long nights warm in my bed? Nightfall to sunrise, that's what you said. You held me so tight each time again. I'll keep your picture in my room. Don't wanna get rid of you. On my mind when I am up too late. You got me so confused. My head is full of you. Done with silly games. Don't leave me hanging on. Keep me hanging. Said it once, I'll say it again. Your love is what I want. Do you remember all of the long nights warm in my bed? Nightfall to sunrise, that's what you said. And you have me so tight each time again. In my room, I'll keep you safe. Don't stay away too long, pulling back and forth. Still got me paralyzed. Got what you came for. One thing that I've kept. I'll keep your picture in my room. 'Cause it gets me in the mood. You're still a flame free in my head. You got me so confused. My mind is full of you. Still want you in my room. Don't wanna get rid of you. On my mind, but now I'm not too late. You got me so confused. My head is full of you. I'll keep your picture in my room. 'Cause it gets me in the mood. You're still a friend free in my head. You got me so confused. My mind is full of you. Still want you in my room. Don't wanna get rid of you. On my mind when I am up too late. You got me so confused. My head is full of
And here we are, back into the action, half number 2 between EG and TeamOne. I'm Boggs, joined by JRT, and this is the ESL Challenger Melbourne North American closed qualifier. Welcome, everybody. 10-5 CT half in favor of EG. And now, it's TeamOne on the CT side, EG on T side. And a nice opening duel 1 there to start things off. Trade back, but In they go to Seth. They're not clearing Ninja. This is a problem. Pace is going to knock down one. Takes down, actually only gets one. As Barton back behind bench is going to get eliminated by Viz. That's 2 for him. And a bomb plant coming down on the B site momentarily. Rotations coming through, though. And this is where the issue starts for EG. If they can't get that bomb down quickly, never mind. Malu's gone. This should be their round.
I don't know. Honestly. Given that first half, I'd say it's too early to say whether or not EG have this one in the bag, especially considering the bomb hasn't been planted yet. TRK is still hanging around market. I believe his positioning is known. And no plant yet, in fact. EG going to fake it. Finally, Ben Leak going to stick bomb to dirt. TRK comes around the corner, and he almost gets taken down. But not quite yet. Still alive. Got the kit, so he has time here to go for a methodical retake. There's a nice little tap to the head of Viz, but he can't get the follow-up onto Ben Leet, who has been required in quite a few critical situations here for EG, and he does secure the 11th.
Yep. Wow. Cutting it close there, EG. Leaving it all down to Ben. And he comes up big for EG once again. This time it's just 1 kill he needed, but dang, still a very impactful kill coming in from the in-game leader of EG. He's been having some very big performances for them, and that's exactly what you want to see out of your in-game leader sometimes, is just coming up with those clutch kills. And EG actually going to take a tactical, or never mind, it's a technical issue here. Sorry about that. So things are going to slow down a little bit, but EG winning the second half pistol puts them on the fast track to victory in map number 1, doesn't it? I mean, now they're only 5 rounds away. TeamOne having to force. They lose this. They lose the subsequent. It's 13-5.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem for TeamOne. There's no question, especially considering that, like you mentioned, they lose the opening pistol. They needed that momentum. It does slip away. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but still, that one was certainly winnable on their side. And speaking more about Ben Lee, right, the IGL usually known for his excellent utility usage. If you look at his flashes over the last 2 months, he throws 1.11 flashes on average per round, which is actually quite a bit. And now Pace is going to get the opener onto Jonji. Ben Lee trades it back. His fragging prowess continues as TeamOne have invested fully into this round. They are forcing up. IDK tags Pwn and gets him down to 30. But yeah, just talk a little bit more about Pwn and that utility usage. On average, 0.69 opponents flashed per flash thrown. He is extremely good and valuable for this team with all of the util, not just the flashbangs.
Yeah, it's something EG have always had good utility efficiency as a roster, as a core.
It's true.
And I feel like it's
Definitely
gotten
across
better
the board.
since the last time I watched him.
Yeah, no, I mean, Pwn and Jonji have pitched in as well, as Barton's going to get the headshot onto Ben Leet, but Viz replies immediately onto Maluk. A chance for the force buy to be successful here, though, Austin.
Yeah, big chance, especially with that damage on the Pwn furthered by the... there's a team kill. That's a bit rough for Viz. 2v2. And the Galil picked up their IDK, but that's a big shot. Barton looking for a rat hole, trying not to get stabbed in the back. Does end up, ironically, getting stabbed in the back just from the other direction. And IDK now in a 1v2, no kit. A bit more of a pressing time. It's a 10-second defuse, making a lot of noise. Now they know where he is. Flash might blind him, but they're going to double swing into him, and neither are going to die. It's a good play there from the last two, DJ and Viz, taking the swing together and finishing off the last remaining TeamOne member. The force buy goes awry, and now a 13-5 looks very likely, unless there's something possible with the P250, the HEs, and a potential nade stack towards ramp or maybe top middle coming out from TeamOne. But overall, Evil Geniuses are well on their way to taking Mirage, and with Overpass map number 2. It doesn't.
Yeah, and no, it doesn't, because Overpass is a very strong map for EG, in particular when you compare it to what TeamOne has been bringing to the table there as of late. But we'll get back to that afterwards, as Pwn Alone's going to get 1, 2, maybe a third going to come through onto Maluk, who's waiting in Sandwich. Well, no, DJ takes care of business, gets 2 more, and this round's over. Only Barton left with a CZ, no armor, no utility, up against all 5 players on EG. So this will indeed be 13-5. But yeah, no, if TeamOne are unable to come back here on Mirage, it will be very problematic going on to Overpass as map number 2 for them.
Yeah, TeamOne letting Overpass through. You know EG are going to pick that. Maybe they have something up their sleeve, I don't know. But EG actually calling a tactical timeout, wanting to make sure they don't let anything slide. They want to win the bonus round. And they're going to up. Oh, they're going to give Jonji a Mac 10. Oh, there's a fast-paced play in mind. Ponalone and Jonji probably going to hit something very fast. Maybe a Palace pop for those two. Close the gap against the rifles. Get that space. Get those kills. Upgrade. And then get ready to hold the site. That's probably what the call is coming out from EG. Seeing that Jonji gets the Mac 10 back in hand. You kind of know what he's going to do with that. And for TeamOne, they have the op. They have the M4s. They have the utility. They have their buy. But it's almost their last-ditch buy. Because if they lose it, they don't save anything. It's going to be 15-5 for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, I would think that if things get dicey, they might decide to gamble on a site, for example, and keep, if there are 3 players left standing, just decide, pick one site. If they don't hit it, then we at least save the 3 guns. But, I mean, we're not there yet. They've got the advantage because EG are on the bonus round with those 3 Galils and the 2 Mac 10s. We didn't necessarily get the fast pace play yet. And it looks like Jonji's eventually going to push out here. In fact, that smoke might slow him down a little bit. He does have visibility around the corner. Here comes the flashbang, though, and the push from Jonji. He's looking at her palace. The flash is good. Pone setting him up perfectly. Now it is going to be a 4v3, though, for TeamOne as they get a couple of frags. The IGL for EG is going to shine once more and even things out, along with help take control here of this A site with the utility. TeamOne have 2 players coming through from CT to try and retake this, but IDK is on the other side of the map on Cat with a smoke blocking him off, and TJ catches him off guard from below.
That's a nice pick. A4 out for Barton. Going to try and get at least one opening. Hits the headshot on the band, but there's a nice swing from Ponalone around default. Maluk with the op in a 1v2. Pincered from 90-degree angles. Splits the difference, goes at 45. Walks around the smoke. Ponalone into the open, though. Crouches around, and no-scope coming forth from Maluk. EG now 2 away from punching map number 1 to their favor, going to their favorite home base of Overpass, hopping on that train, looking to go into the upper bracket final. TeamOne not going to fully invest, going to half buy it around 1,500 for IDK as the one who's spending the most. Wait, Pace is going to force?
They're going for, I think it's intentional. It's a hero A1S they're trying to bring through here, at least to make the round a little more potent, right? Instead of only going for the pistols. I understand it. Given the score line, you have to try and set yourself up as best as possible. And then in the following round, he can just get an MP9 or might even be able to afford something a little bit better. Anyway. It doesn't matter here, does it, Austin? Because he's going to get his head taken clean off as he's going for that aggressive peek into the apartments. And on top of that, the A1S is lost. It's not recoverable.
That's the problem when you put the hero rifle in a situation like that where it has to get a kill, and if it doesn't, then it's all over. I mean, you really kind of hamstring yourself, and you force your player to get multiple kills as well as getting out of there alive, even if he goes 1 for 1, which is a very likely scenario. That M4 is not recoverable. There's no backup to get it back, and it kind of does just put TeamOne down behind the 8-ball, even more than they already are, and it's just a mop-up operation at this point for EG, picking up players here and there, and the bomb's going to be recovered, but is it going to be a bomb plant victory, or is it going to be an elimination victory? Probably going to be an elimination victory before that even happens, as there's players on both sides. Never mind IDK, it's a nice shot on DJ, so it will come down to a B-side plant. Barton going to sit and bench and do what damage he can, but they're already nading him into oblivion. They're going to push him down, and Jonji's going to be the one to get that kill. Ben will spring away. There's Ponalone. So actually, no bomb plant, just kills. And you know EG's in a good mood when they're doing that to each other.
Yeah, exactly. They're having a lot of fun here, as they should be, given the 15-5 scoreline. But I got to give them credit because it looked like there was a possibility of those deagles coming through and doing damage, but they isolate Barton so perfectly. They throw the nade in, the Molotov comes up as a follow-up, and he really has absolutely nowhere to go. The pressure was applied perfectly to ensure that those deagles would no longer be a threat. So now it all comes down to this, and in fact, Pesa did in fact have enough money with the full loss bonus coming through to get the A1S. So it's going to be 2 A1Ss, an A4, and the AWP here for TeamOne. Their last chance, backs against the wall to stay in this one, and EG are just going to charge into us. It's only defended by 1 player. TRK does manage to stay alive for 1 frag, but Viz comes out with the immediate trade. Maluk trying to come into the action, and he does with Pesa. That makes it a 4v2. EG getting a little bit careless here, trying to secure the victory quickly.
But we have seen 4v2s go the way of the 2 and not of the 4 so far, John. And Ponalone with the jump very aggressively. Lucky to get out of there alive, actually. Jonji in towards ladder room, though, taking a long-range fight with the op of Maluk. Now swinging back towards catwalk where he knows IDK is. Takes a reload, trying to bait the peek in. IDK blind, falls back towards Get Right into the open, but the headshot not coming forth for Jonji. Instead it comes through for IDK. Op 1v4 for Ponalone, probably not going to happen here. Falling back into underpass, going to try and stay alive. Probably get that op out of the map and not give TeamOne a double op set up for free. Either way, though, TeamOne are able to stay alive. They don't lose at 16-5. But still a long road back into it if they do want to manage to come back into this game. 10 in a row would be required. They've got 1. And I'd like to mention, too, at the beginning of that round, they threw so much utility into apartments because Jonji made all that noise. It did 0 damage. It did no damage to him.
It's unreal.
It all got stuck in the little corner cubby of the doorway, the little frame. All the nades hit there and didn't hit Jonji.
Good old nades. You can always count on them to be completely unreliable. I mean, I hope that's... We're hearing all the rumors about Source 2, right? And the potential of it coming out on the 10th anniversary. If it does, my goodness, I hope they change the way nades interact with the environment, because that is something that is just so weird and unpredictable sometimes.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, the first thing is to hope that the new upgrade doesn't break everything. I think that's number one, and then any additions are a bonus. But speaking of additions, TeamOne getting a 6th round here.
Yeah, it's good for TeamOne at the very least to not go quietly into the night, give themselves a little bit of a fight. They at least have a leg to stand on. It's been said that countries that surrender never rise again, but countries that go down fighting are bound to come back once more. TeamOne not surrendering. They're not rolling over. They're giving EG their money's worth, and maybe, just maybe, they can come up with something on Overpass. They had to have expected it coming through. So maybe there's something they can fight with. But EG are looking on another level right now, just in terms of individual firepower alone. That's, I think, been the biggest difference between these two teams so far. It has not been the tactics. It's been hero plays coming in from every single player on this EG roster that has come up in key moments to save the day. And without that, this game is probably closer to being tied than it is being over. And it could have also be favoring TeamOne right now if we wouldn't have had some Ben Leet hero plays, some Ponalone hero plays, a lot of big plays in key situations. So
there's no doubt. I think they're also out-aiming TeamOne in mole situations, which is helping. But a lot of it's been a very puggy style, especially that first half of action. And Pone is just going to go for a dry peek here into connector, and he catches Maluk off. 5v4 for EG. IDK a chance to get one. He does. He's trying to peek around for a second. Finds it. Bomb dropped. DJ can't find the trade. Pesa jumps out a window perfectly onto the railing to get a follow-up. It's now up to Ben and DJ to try and clutch this one out. Barton trying to isolate a player and does. Will he go down? No. DJ comes around, finally finishes him off. 1v2. Bomb could get planted. A chance at the clutch for DJ. Will he do it? No. TeamOne denying the heroics this time, Austin.
Yeah, it comes down to the wire again. The heroic play from Barton, able to stay alive, and IDK's double from Van is absolutely massive. It gives the rotations time to come through. It gives TeamOne a leg to stand on, where a kill can definitely give them an advantage. So big work there from TeamOne, from IDK and from Barton. 2 rounds in a row now. And actually the last full buy from EG, before they'd have to go in a half or save. Pone still does have his op. He's been quite quick with that so far this evening. Galil for Ben is the only thing that's not exactly a full purchase. And Pesa takes a little bit of molly tick damage as he runs into underpass, but there's a spam from DJ that just about tickles him. Pesa's just going to run through fire. That's his MO for this round. Firewalker Pesa. And we stall out into this mid-control default that we saw TeamOne pull off several times in the previous half, and Ben's going to eat that nade, which didn't feel too good, down to 53 HP.
Yeah, he's just trying to hold this spot and convince TeamOne that there's nothing to worry about here at top mid. Maybe catch them off guard as he did not move a single muscle, just absorbed that nade into his very being. Pesa waiting at connector as EG are going to send 3 players towards the A site, a couple going from the ramp, one from the apartments as that smoke will bloom, giving DJ some cover should he choose to come out. But that was well read by TeamOne. The nade flies out and deals quite a bit of damage against DJ, makes him a little softer. Now that smoke comes into connector. Pesa gets caught out here. Thought he was safe there, but unfortunately for him, Ben Leeds sees him and sprays him down. Maluk does get the response, an important one. TRK set up to be the hero.
If that smoke's not from top middle, there's no way Maluk expects the player underpass. But Janji's going to run onto site, plant in the open, put the bomb out, trusting in his teammates with full faith. That is full risk, but full reward for EG as the bomb goes down. Barton brings it to a 3v3, though. Maluk getting chipped away. Pone alone up on Tetris, scoped in towards CT. Not going to take a pop shot, though. Going to wait for the push to come through. Dodges the flashbang and goes back towards the side. Janji waiting around it towards Sniper's Nest, walks through the murder hole, and meets his maker at the hands of Barton. Viz.
What?
V3, none V3, as Maluk, IDK, and Barton all come through to take this one back. TeamOne, what is that, 3 in a row now, making this one closer and closer. EG probably primed for a timeout here, or maybe in the round following, because they're not exactly going to force up into this one. Probably a half. Never mind, they're going to full buy. They are going to go fully invested into this round. They're not going to have full AKs. In fact, they probably will have 3 Galils. It's still doable in theory, but they're starting to let this one slip, and it's being a bit of a concern now as a situation which they should have had won. They get a little aggressive. They get a little too over-aggressive, especially with that Janji play through Rattle. Does not need to push them. Hold your jungle, hold that angle, and wait for the other team to push into you. You have the advantage there. He goes aggressive, and he pays for it.
Yeah, I mean, Janji's going to come through again here, eats a nade, and then gets spotted out by Pesa because I guess the trajectory of the nade threw him off, or clued him in to the fact that Janji was there. Now the man advantage early here for TeamOne, but EG almost evens it out. IDK gets tagged by Pone, survives, and just happy that he gets the chance to back off here and support Barton onto this B site because it could have been evened out at a 4v4 there. And again, Pone, so unlucky. This time, it is the vent that absorbs enough damage for Maluk to survive with 2 HP. Oh,
That's brutal.
I mean, it's also brutal they lost that 3v3 in that way, too. I mean, not getting a single frag right. Anyway. Sorry, I'm back.
Maluk's going to burn to the Molotov, so there we go. The damage comes 3v3, and Viz makes it a 3v2. Now EG looking to try and win from down a couple of players. That's exactly how this game has worked, hasn't it, John? You win the 2v or the 3v5s, and they're going to hold it, they're going to win it, they're going to sweep it. 16-8 for EG in the end, and that one, well, it should have been easier for EG. It should have been a lot easier for EG.
They made life difficult for themselves. Honestly, they did. There's some rounds where they should have been winning easily, and then somehow it slips away from them thanks to a bit of over-aggression. And probably some of this is rust, right? Not playing an official for quite some time.